a childhood food that you used to love to make that you'd think people would find a little odd.
Okay, that was peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich.
And see, mine would be getting a bowl and cutting up a banana or two,
All right.
and then taking a couple spoonfuls of sugar, spreading it on top of the bananas, and then pouring milk on it, and eating it like a cereal.
I know you're laughing about this, but your parents were trying to kill you. Hi, I'm Candy.
And I'm Dan.
And you're listening to Drop the Stones.
Nay, nay, nay.
What?
It's the Dan and Can show now. Going through a metamorphosis, a change, puberty, adjusting and growing and evolving with the times. Just because we feel like it. And we're going to get a little new flavor, a little new dynamic, maybe just switch it up a little bit, see what you guys think. Hopefully
Dan's even switching it up with his little fancy shirt he's got going on there. It needs to be ironed. I love you. I picked the shirt. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Should I not be drawing attention to your shirt?
So anyways, folks, we are going to start off today. Today, the topic that we'll kind of be bouncing around and getting going and starting with will be the pressure to procreate. Is it a God-mandated thing to have 12 children? Or is it you just listening to the pressures of the in-laws coming down on you, saying, make me some grandbabies? Why is this necessary thing to have all these children? And just I think we're going to kind of get into it and discuss it a little bit about this necessity, because there's this definite
Pressure.
There's a movement, especially on the political side of things. You think about some of the elected officials that are saying, well, maybe we should just give tax credits to people that have babies and tax anyone without children even more.
Yeah.
Just to force them to have more children. This idea of we need more kids, which if a government official's saying it, there's a devious means behind it. There's a reason for it. It's not for anything else but to indoctrinate, to enlist, to push out a workforce, all these good things that they need in order to make themselves richer and more prosperous. So why do we feel this guilt, this need to have to do it? Because I think if we look at it, I know we know people that we know parents that probably shouldn't be parents. Not because they're awful people or that they're abusive or anything like that, but just the simple fact of, I think if you look at them deep down, they really don't want to be a parent. Mm-hmm. They enjoy the freedom of not having that responsibility.
And that's not a judgment.
No.
It's just, it's okay. Like, I have no problem. Not like I have any say either, but it's just like, if someone doesn't want to have children, that should be okay. And because in our culture, and it's not just the culture, there's a swing in the other direction right now, but it's like in the Christian culture, there isn't. You have children. Mm-hmm. You are supposed to have children regardless. Like, you're supposed to get married and have children. That's the largest goal a Christian should have outside of sharing the gospel is get married and have children, right?
Yeah. Just so you can keep building up the faith, the numbers in the faith.
Yeah.
And it's to preserve the faith, too, because if you don't have children, who's going to believe? Now you have to go out and get other adults. And if they're not having children, who's going to believe afterwards? The faith will die because there won't be humanity anymore.
Because that is how their faith system is set up. That is basically how the ancient Jewish people set it up too. That was their idea of eternal life, I think, was just eternally be on the land they were on by having children. Mm-hmm. Their children, then the children's children, then, it stayed down in their line. Their lineage was a big deal, right? And that's kind of a weak faith system if that's what it's dependent on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's really, Christianity is just, it's no different than the ancient Jewish area in that area.
We'll get into it a little bit, kind of expand on that. But before we do that, let's play a couple little fun games here.
Okay.
All right. So to open it up, we're going to play a game. It's going to be called Worship Lyric or Love Bomb. And this is to guess if it's a worship song lyric or if it's overly poetic or emotionally intense ones that are created by AI for laughs.
So it's either a love bomb thing that was created by AI?
Yep. So is this a lyric praising Jesus, or is it something a manipulative partner says before ruining your life?
Okay, so AI created those. It's scanning the internet for those kinds of phrases, right? And then the other one is it is an actual. The other option is it might be an actual lyric in a Christian song or something.
Christian worship song.
Okay. All right, let's go.
This is kind of to tie us back to Brad's podcast 2 weeks ago, the narcissistic behavior, and we're going to look and see how narcissistic Christian music can be.
Okay.
You're the only thing that makes me feel whole. Worship lyric or love bomb?
Love bomb.
Worship lyric from the song Only You by David Crowder Band.
Okay.
All right. Without you, I am lost, wandering in the dark.
That's a worship lyric.
That is a love bomb. It's a common narcissistic relationship rhetoric frequently found in abuse recovery forums.
Say it again.
Without you, I am lost, wandering in the dark.
Okay, I think the wandering in the dark is a little bit
like something.
It sounds like a poem that a 14-year-old wrote to his girlfriend.
Grant would be singing.
Yeah. Okay.
I was made to be yours, forever and only yours.
Christian lyric.
Love bomb. You're horrible at this game. Edition adapted from controlling relationship language.
Okay.
I'll chase you to the ends of the earth.
I'll chase you? Like you're running after them. Okay.
To the ends of the earth.
But you don't chase God, but yet Christians do kind of chase God. I'm going to go with the lyrics.
It is a worship lyric. It's by the song Chasing You by Bethel Music.
Oh, Bethel Music, huh? Why do you chase God? God doesn't need you to chase after it. What? That sounds weird.
You're chasing that love.
Why? He gives it to you freely. Oh my God. Okay. Never mind. Go on.
No one will love you the way I do.
That's a narcissist.
Love bomb?
Yeah.
It is a love bomb. Red flag 101 in trauma recovery text.
I know
This
people that have had that said to them.
This is an easy one to get you a streak going here. You consume me like a holy fire.
That's a lyric.
It is a word. Refiner's fire.
Yeah.
I'll never let you go. Not now, not ever.
That's a love bomb.
Yes. Often heard in toxic relationship situations.
Notice how once you said I suck at this game, I got better?
You did. You're picking up now. You might be 500. I surrender everything just to be close to you.
That's a lyric.
Draw Me Close by Michael W. Smith.
Oh my God. I used to like Michael W. Smith.
You still do.
Go west, young man, when the evil go east. Sorry. Sorry, but that was a song I would listen to all the time. It's so stupid. All right. While jumping on the trampoline in my parents' backyard.
I chose you before the world began.
Okay. That has to be a lyric, but it must be singing from God's point of view? Mm-hmm. It has to be, because anybody saying that to somebody is, or us saying it.
It is a lyric referring to Ephesians 1:4.
Okay.
The love is fierce, relentless, and wild.
That's a lyric.
Worship lyric, Fierce by Jesus Culture.
KAI. Can we do some better ones here?
No one else could ever satisfy me the way you do.
I'm going to say Love Bomb. I hope that's not a Christian lyric.
It's a worship lyric. It's called You Satisfy by Worship.
Oh, my God.
No one else can satisfy me like you do.
Who's saying it? What is it?
Worship Mob.
Worship Mob?
Yes.
Never heard of that one. Satisfied?
Yeah.
Satisfy?
Yeah. You satisfy. All right. You were created to complete me.
You were created to complete me. That's a Love Bomb.
It is.
Yeah.
Even if you run, I'll come find you.
Okay, that's fucking creepy. I hope that... I was like, I don't know. I don't hope it's a love bomb because that's really, really stalker-like and scary. And I would be so scared if someone said that to me.
Okay.
But if it's a lyric...
Well,
what was the phrase? Say it again.
Run, I'll come find you. Or, if you run, I will come find you. What sounds better?
I bet you it's a lyric, and that's scary.
It is a lyric by Come As You Are by Crowder.
That sounds so... That's like how they would use, like, God is always watching.
I break down every wall just to reach your heart.
That's a lyric.
Reckless Love by Corey Asbury. If you walk away, you'll never find love like this again.
If you walk away, you'll never find love like this again. I'm going to assume that's a love bomb.
That is a love bomb.
But I could see that. Listen, that is something a Christian could say.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or would say is what I mean, yeah.
All right, so here's something else. A little bit of get to know you section of the podcast to kind of get into Dan and Can's mind. Some things to see who we are, what we're all about. Let's discover foods together. Give me 3 of your favorite foods.
Oh, that's so broad. Narrow it down. This is how it always is with us, so don't act like it's not. I always make you do this.
3. Just name 3 foods you enjoy
Narrow
to
it
eat.
down to what kind of foods.
Edible ones.
Are we talking fruits and vegetables? Are we talking carbs? Are we talking meats? Are we talking sweets?
We're talking food. What would you sit down and just, oh, that sounds so good. I'll have some. Please, thank you. You're probably going to be like broccoli.
No, I wouldn't.
Cauliflower.
I don't really like broccoli that much. Thank you very much. Is there some veggies that I like? Yeah, they have to be made a certain way, though. Like a really good salad with lots of different colors, but also lots of different textures, some crunchiness, very crunchy, a lot of crunch. That's why I choose those chopped. If we're going to buy a mixed bag that's already mixed, I like the chopped ones because they got the cabbage and stuff.
I'll start for you. Hamburgers. I like a good, messy,
Hamburger.
sloppy hamburger.
Yeah, hamburgers are good. Why did you wait? Stop. Why did you say I'll start when I said a good salad? Like you just discounted it like it wasn't a food.
I didn't think you'd put that as one of your top 3.
Yes, a really good salad is what I was trying to say.
That's one of your top 3?
Yeah, and steak on it, like sliced steak. Oh, so good. With a
Top
good
3.
dressing.
The top 3 is
That's
salad.
one. It's got to have croutons on it. Does that help? A really good salad. I'm not talking like a basic salad. I'm talking, it's got like all sorts of different
Yeah, man, you're good,
vegetables.
queen.
No fruit. I don't like fruit in salad. All
about
lots of vegetables. Nuts are in it. There's some feta cheese.
I like a
There's
good
a lot of different
fruit
types
salad.
of greens that are real crunchy. You could throw some cranberries in it, I guess. Well, I don't know why you whizzed past that and went to hamburgers. Like,
I didn't
it's not a
honestly think-
food.
I didn't think
Didn't
that was
you know I
honestly
like a good
top,
salad?
I
Why-
know you like it. I didn't know if it'd be a top 3.
It's got to be a really good one.
All right, really, really good.
That's what do I food prep most of the time?
Salad,
Salads in a jar.
vitamins.
Oh, my God. Moving on with your stupid hamburger, though. Hamburgers are good.
Your stupid hamburger. Chocolate and caramel together. I love that.
Chocolate and peanut butter. That's
I
good.
know you put
But the
your
ratio-
chocolate in my peanut butter. You You put your peanut butter in my chocolate.
I gotta ask the audience. I don't know what you think. What is the right ratio peanut butter to chocolate? I do not like the mini Reese's cups, and you know that. Mm-hmm. Because the ratio is too much chocolate to too little peanut butter. Like a bigger cup, the regular size ones, those are pretty good. Those are about perfect. Yeah. That's the ratio. That's the right ratio. Somebody had to figure that out, and they failed miserably on the mini ones.
Reese's, are you listening? Is this why you named her daughter Reese? Because you're fascinated with Reese's peanut butter cups.
I do like Reese's peanut butter cups.
Weirdo. All right, and your third?
You go with your second first.
I did. Chocolate and caramel.
Oh, yeah. Well, you
You're
pick
just
your
blowing
third.
past my chocolate and caramel?
No, chocolate caramel's a good combo. I will give that.
Yeah.
I would want some nuts with that, but
No,
definitely a good combo.
Chocolate and caramel by itself. It has to
It's a
be
little
really.
too sweet.
It has to be a gooey caramel.
It does have to be a gooey caramel. I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, it can't be a
But
chewy.
do you
It has to
like
be
Snickers? Do you really think Snickers
Yeah.
hit it? It's not quite gooey enough. It's that nugget in there kind of throws it off or something.
the nougat. Yeah,
Is
No,
it
that's a good
pronounced nougat
combination.
or nugget?
nougat.
I think it's nugget.
Okay, listen here.
Do you want me to look it up? You're probably
you're a
right.
nugget. All right, and a third favorite food to eat. Let's see. What would be a good one? I do.
You're right. It's nougat.
Thank you. Hold on. Do you have a third one while I'm thinking here?
Oh, yeah, like a chicken nugget would be spelled different. Okay, sorry, I'm on that stuff. Okay.
I thought you were going to say chicken nuggets.
No. Oh, no,
what?
no.
Really?
So we did a sweet. We did like an
you can do whatever,
entree.
you can do whatever you want. Doesn't have to
Oh, I love hash browns.
be. Oh, what kind of hash browns though?
They got to be. They don't have to be like Southern hash brown style, like O'Brien style. I really like O'Brien style.
The cubed ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
But
best breakfast potato.
yes, it is. But they have to be like a certain size. They can't be too big,
Yeah.
and they can't be too small, and they got to be crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. Right? And they have to be seasoned well. Yes, but that is one of my favorite foods is that kind of hash brown. I love hash browns.
No,
That would be
anything-
really hard. Hash browns are hard for me to resist.
I'd say one of my other favorites would be anything with sausage gravy on it.
Yeah, you do like that. So healthy. We're just such healthy people.
You
Whatever.
are. Your number one was a
No, I would-
salad, a really good salad.
Yeah, but we got to hash browns.
Hash browns are good, nice carbohydrate loaded. All right, so let's see. List 2 foods that you think people would be pissed off if you said you could do without. You don't care. I don't like that. One
2.
that
We're doing 2 of these.
do 2 of these.
Okay.
One I can think of offhand that a lot of people, especially people just a few years younger than me, would be chicken nuggets, especially McDonald's chicken nuggets.
I don't really like them either.
I know.
You know people our age that like them that much?
No, it's just a little bit younger than us that really, to our kids' age, that go nuts for the nuggets. But when they first came out, I used to eat them all the time when we go to McDonald's. I'd get the Happy Meal with the nuggets. But my school had them and started making them at school. So you get your 5 nuggets or whatever on your lunch tray. And I had the flu the first night we had it.
Ew.
So I've always associated a night of expulsion from the lower bowels of my body with chicken nuggets. And all right, if you guys are sensitive, fast forward for about 15 seconds.
No, you don't have to describe anything. I don't need to hear it. Why am I at the mercy of it?
It just involves Pudwell T. Wellington, my kitty cat that we had, consuming my chicken nuggets after I had coughed them up on the floor.
Dan, you are going to make me puke. Are you serious?
Peeking
That's
out,
disgusting.
peeking out the door of my bed and going, why is the cat eating that? So I don't like
Wait.
chicken nuggets much anymore.
Did you just puke on the floor?
I was like 8.
Well, was your mom cleaning it up, or did she know?
They were getting to clean it up, but they
Oh
put
God,
me.
my stomach does not feel good right now.
They were taking me to bed to put
You
me
know I'm a
down.
visual person. Now I'm just thinking of this cat eating this barf while these parents are arguing in the kitchen, and the kid's just looking in the
They
bed.
weren't
He's sick
argu-
as a dog, and he's like,
I was in bed because they had taken me to bed, and they were taking care of me before they cleaned up the mess.
"Oh, I guess that's sweet."
So, and the cat was like, dinner.
Oh God, it's just so disgusting.
I like chicken.
So what you're telling me is your parents were being decent, good people to you, and I'm just grossed out by this puke. Okay,
By the
got
cat.
it.
So chicken nuggets aren't a big fan favorite of mine.
All right, I got my first one of this. Soda. I just don't like it that much, and you know it.
I know.
I will drink it sometimes, and I will drink like Poppy or however you say that,
Yeah.
or like I even have one here. I haven't opened it. Olipop. I was going to drink it tonight, but it's cream soda. If I'm going to drink a soda, it's going to be a cream soda. And now I'm drinking only if I drink them at all. It's those prebiotic drinks. I wonder if this has as much sugar in it. It's way less. It's got 15 grams of sugar compared to like a regular can of soda would have like.
Not a sponsor. We don't have to sell Poppy.
That's not Poppy. It's Olipop. I haven't tried this one. The only reason I grabbed it is because any soda that I would drink would be cream soda, but now I'm not going to drink that tonight. But yeah, I just don't like soda that much. Maybe it's because you know how everybody, when I was a kid, I always wanted to learn how to burp. And they would try to make me like drink pop and swallow it, and then you'll get air, and then you'll have to burp. And I never could, and they would just burp, and they would feel it feels so good to get that out. Well, maybe it doesn't go out or something. I don't know. Maybe that's why my body doesn't like it. I just don't like the taste of it either. I don't like the taste of carbonated things very much. That would be something that I think most people like.
Yeah.
I will drink it once in a while, but it's not my preferred drink.
Do you have another one that you think?
No, you have to go next. What are you saying? I'm not doing two in a row.
I'm not going to go next because it's going to piss you off for the rest of the episode. So
What is it? Tell me.
I'll tell you in a minute.
No, because then it might spark mine. I don't have one in my head.
It's peanut butter.
Are you joking?
I could live without ever having peanut butter again.
That's the one food I would take on, and if I was like stuck on an island, I would take peanut butter.
Well,
endless amounts of it.
If we were stuck together on an island, you'd have all the peanut butter you could eat.
I'd be like 1,000 pounds, and you'd be a little twig.
I could eat it. I don't mind it mixed with certain things, but I'm not going to sit down and have a
So
spoonful.
do you hate it when I eat it and then it's on my breast?
I don't care.
Does the smell bother you?
No, it's just not something I crave.
How do you not like peanut butter? I don't. My mind is blown. I don't think we can stay married. I don't. This is making me question everything about our relationship right now. Why am I just finding this out on the podcast?
How often have you ever seen me take and eat peanut butter? You can't think of one time, can you?
I'm so excited to get my peanut butter that I don't notice that you're not eating it.
When's the last time you see me eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I know you didn't like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I've known that.
Yeah. You never see me eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No, unless I made it a long time ago. And
I'll
forced you to
mix
eat
it in sometimes with the chocolate chip cookie. That's all right.
Oh, that's better than, yeah. That makes a chocolate chip cookie by far better, right?
It helps it. Yeah.
It does.
It gets a little something, but yeah,
I'm sad. I don't think we can be married.
No, why are you being sad?
I'm going to text Reese to give us the divorce papers. Send the divorce papers.
You can buy a jar of peanut butter and not have to worry about anyone else eating it. When the
I
kids
know,
are
but
all
sometimes
moved
it takes forever to go through the jar of peanut butter. And the best part of getting in peanut butter is the first part of it. When you open that jar for the very first time, nobody swiped it. It's all beautiful. That's the best part. Now I get the stir kinds. So it's like not as... But I used to love that. I would open Skippy or Jif. Jif was my favorite. Skippy's pretty close. I would open it and that smooth top, because I don't like crunchy peanut butter. It's got to be smooth. My mom always got crunchy when we were kids. So smooth peanut butter. Oh, and then the first one to swipe it, that's the best. Then after that, it just takes forever, and I never get back to the first. It takes me months and months and months to get through a peanut butter jar.
Buy a bunch of the individual ones, and they're all smooth on top.
Yeah, but that's so wasteful. I wonder if you do they come in tubes? Like a little mini tube? I bet you they do, but that's so wasteful.
Yeah.
But I don't eat peanut butter like maybe once a week I eat it. I don't eat it very often. I would eat it more often, but I kind of forget about it. I don't know about us anymore. Let me think. I got to think of one more food that I don't care for. Hamburgers. Just kidding. Did you hear what I said?
What?
It's like hamburgers. Just kidding. I like hamburgers. Macaroni salad. It's disgusting. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't like it.
It's one of my favorite go-tos for summer dishes. And I make a shit ton of it.
You do. And I'm like, oh, Joey, we got a lot of
Delicious. Well, yours is probably mayonnaise.
I don't
That's the
like
part
lots
that
of mayonnaise.
You don't like, yeah. So,
if I make potato salad, I put way more mustard.
So
it's
here-
way less mayonnaise in it.
here's
I
the
don't
thing:
like it.
is it
Which is a
for
white people food,
you
I know.
folks out there? This could be a poll question on this one.
This is white people food we're talking about here, I think. Bland.
When you have a mayonnaise-based salad, a macaroni salad, a potato salad, a coleslaw, something like that, is it better to have it creamier?
That's probably what I should is mayonnaise. I don't really like mayonnaise that much.
Creamier or drier? Because Candy's family loves dry. You guys make the potato salad. It's like, is there any mayonnaise in there?
That is my grandma's potato salad.
But I'm just comparing and contrasting.
It is good. It is dry. It's dry and it's a little tangy because of the vinegar, the mustard. Okay? And it's got a tiny bit of sweet.
But when when my family makes a mayonnaise, like a potato salad, it sounds like you're stirring mac and cheese as you're coming out. It's just that
It's gross. I'm sorry.
delicious.
It's not delicious. And that's why you notice I rarely make that potato. I love that potato salad that my grandma made. Mm-hmm. That is one of my family's favorite things.
I know. They always
That is
request you
what
make
I
it.
made for my sister when her husband died, and she was so grateful for.
Yes, I know.
And yet I rarely get to have it because you're not going to eat it.
I eat it.
And now I know the truth. I know the truth about you and peanut butter, and I just can't move on.
See, this is the problem. You can't get over the peanut butter thing.
I'm sad inside.
Why are you sad?
I know I
It's
look happy and I'm smiling, but I'm sad.
Why are you sad?
Because I love peanut butter, and I need everybody
How
that
does this
I
affect your
love to
love for-
love peanut butter. And I know some of our kids don't love peanut butter, but I can love them still. But you are my partner
But
in
you, I
life.
can't.
Okay.
It shouldn't change anything about that.
I can't look at you the same anymore.
Just because I don't I could live without peanut butter.
Because that's the one. Damn, look at this. There's an ocean between us on this subject. That is the one food I would take to an island where I'm trapped for eternity. I would take peanut butter. I could eat peanut butter with almost any food, probably.
No. Well, which would bring us to our final question here. And I think peanut butter may come into play on this one.
It's on your top list of no's, and it's my
Yeah,
very
your
top list of
no's
yes.
is mayonnaise-induced salads. You know my family and mayonnaise. My parents almost got a divorce because they didn't have an extra backup jar of mayonnaise in the cupboard.
Well, we're almost going to get a divorce over peanut butter, okay? This is not looking good for either relationship.
Well, they're both ridiculous.
Move on.
What is a food that is a guilty pleasure that you think other people would find absolutely repulsive?
Ooh.
I know there's a couple sandwiches you're used to
The
make.
peanut butter and mayonnaise one?
There you go. You just combine.
I know. Maybe that's why I don't like. I feel like. Okay, I don't like mayonnaise that much. I will put it on a sandwich, though. I do put mayonnaise on a sandwich. And I don't like it to be super dry. I will give you that. But I like to use like olive oil and some spices and mustard, but a little bit of mayonnaise. But when we were kids, we would eat mayonnaise and mayonnaise and peanut butter. And I'm wondering if I would still like it. I heard one of my siblings ate it not too long ago, and they still like it.
Did you ever put pickles on it too?
No, I did peanut butter and pickles. Peanut butter and pickles is a really good sandwich. Maybe I'm going to have that tomorrow. Thanks for bringing that up. You got to have the right bread for that, though.
What, the soft?
It's got to be soft. Like whole wheat would be okay, but I don't know about the sourdough that Lane makes me.
No, that's a little tough for that.
That would be a little tough for it, but I still probably would do it.
Twang to it.
I might not mind that actually. I might think about that. Thanks for bringing that one up.
So the childhood. Yeah, we'll rephrase this because that fits into it. A childhood food that you used to love to make, that you think people would find a little odd.
Okay, that was peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich for me.
See, mine would be getting a bowl and cutting up a banana, or
Okay.
two,
All right.
and then taking a couple spoonfuls of sugar, spreading it on top of the bananas, and then pouring milk on it, and eating it like a cereal.
I know you're laughing about this, but your parents are trying to kill you. The fuck? Dan, that's awful. That is awful. It is amazing you do not have diabetes. What the
I
hell?
probably should get tested soon.
You get tested.
Well, you feel a little weak and woozy, and
That's I feel sad. I think you were severely neglected and abused.
well, they were at
guess
work. And this looks good. I think my dad might have recommended it. Cut up some bananas, put some sugar on there, and pour some milk on it. It's cereal. It's healthy. It's bananas.
And then you started to just do it on your own because you loved it so
And then
much.
you drink that sugary, syrupy banana milk.
Oh, I
delicious.
don't like the milk at the bottom of cereal.
Oh, milk at the bottom of cereal is
That's
great.
the worst milk.
It's the best milk.
See that fly on your screen?
No.
The kids need to shut the door better. There's a couple flies in here and it's driving me nuts.
Fly on the screen. I don't see a fly.
Yeah, it was on your screen. I could see it because I touched my computer to see if it was my screen.
It's all good. All right.
It was on your camera, not your screen.
Oh, I didn't see it there. Well, we're getting a little late here, so
Okay, fine.
if we get more time, we'll play another game at the end. But let's get into our topic a little
Okay.
bit here. Kind of opened it up. The candy is probably not
Maybe
going
we
to
should
be.
only do one of those if they
Candy
take too
is,
long.
well, we can do a get to know ya and another game.
Yeah.
And then if we're dragging, we'll have another one at the end. But, I don't know if you're going to be willing to participate anymore after peanut butter cake.
Someone's going to be sleeping on the couch for a while. That's what I was going to say.
You can
I don't know
eat
how I
it
feel
all
about
you
you.
want.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know how I
bo-
would feel about you as a person
It
anymore.
doesn't
Okay, that's all
bother
I can
me
say.
that if you want to eat it, you can have all the peanut. You can have peanut butter day and night, every meal. Peanut butter chicken, peanut butter peanuts.
As long as you're not bothered that I'm going to eat
I
it.
don't care. You could come to bed, smell. You could brush your teeth with peanut butter.
Oh
I
God,
wouldn't
no,
care.
that's disgusting. I don't want to smell like peanut butter. Okay, I do like the smell of it, but I don't want to smell like it.
Oh yeah, you remember when we were first married? And you're like, you smell like garlic. Go wash your face.
Yeah, you'd
Okay.
be trying to kiss up on me, and I was like, all I can smell is garlic. dude.
Full disclosure, I add a lot of garlic to foods. I really enjoy. a
Yeah,
nice
but when
dose
you
of
wash your
garlic.
face, it cleans that up.
Anyways, I wash my face.
But did you at the time?
Yeah, I was the cleanliest boy you ever met. But
Hmm. Like,
parenthood.
a lot of men don't clean their face. I'm just saying, and they should. It's not that hard. Just imagine not washing some part of your body ever. That's just so gross. And not just with water. Like, use a little soap. Okay? I'll get off my soapbox now.
All right. So, if you remember, to get on our topic du jour, there was a Bible verse that always was thrown out, bantied about, that kind of get pushed on young couples. Because I remember when we were married, we didn't really get pressured too much because we had kids right away.
No, we waited a couple years.
A year and a half till you were pregnant.
I had her when I was, it wasn't even, oh wow. I
was
was always
pretty
thinking it was because I was 22 when we had our
It was
first.
2
and I was
years, a
20.
little over 2 years when she was born.
Yeah, I was 4 months from being 21 when we got married. And then by the time I was 20, we got pregnant right away.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half.
But no, we got pregnant.
Yeah, year and a half.
No, we didn't wait a year and a half even to get pregnant. A year and a half in, we had a baby. That's crazy.
So we didn't get much pressure in our lives.
Oh my God. We didn't even wait a year to get pregnant. I thought this whole time we waited 2 years.
No.
That's crazy, Dan.
We were good Christian kids. But it was because we had things like the verse of, children are like bows in the quiver. You want to have kids. You think of the Duggars.
It's arrows in the quiver, by the way, bows, not bows.
Yeah, bows would be useless in there. You're shooting bows at people. That's all right. I'm an idiot, folks. Just let me be.
He doesn't like peanut butter either, so we got to forgive him, okay?
It's the lack of peanut butter in my brain that's holding it down.
No, I think it's the excess of mayonnaise in your brain. Or banana sugar. Crazy.
Banana sugar. Anyways, banana sugar.
Banana sugar. That's what I was thinking, too.
We're so
banana sugar. We're so what?
This is the floppiest dick you ever seen.
This is genuine Dan and Can right here, right here, right now. Watching the world wake up.
Let's put on a little makeup.
Okay, no, stop it. No more.
So you have arrows in the quiver. The Duggars, they were always, in the 74 and counting, whatever it was.
19. I think.
But there was actually a mission in their faith system to have as many kids as possible so they could infiltrate the political systems in their state.
I don't know that you know that for a fact, but that did appear what they were doing. I don't know what they were trying to get into the political.
That was in the Shiny Happy People documentary. I can't remember, it was IBC or something like that. Oh, yeah,
they're in IFBC or something like that, yeah.
And the teachings of that was to have as many kids as possible so we can make them aware of the political systems and the dangers. So
it was specifically to get into the political.
And they wanted the boys to be raised up in this and educated enough to be good followers of Christ, promoting Christ's word and laws of the land.
And that's where you got your, what's his name, that Duggar kid that got now in jail for pedophilia. Yeah.
Fun fact, all the Duggar kids' names start with the letter J.
Okay, I think most people know that, but in case you didn't.
And none of them were
named.
They
had 19 kids. I don't know how that mom's body, that's crazy. At the end, did her uterus just drop out with the baby?
It probably did. And then Jim Bob stuck it back in. So you got one more in you.
Sew it back in, dog. Come on.
Jim Bob wants to raw dog. Raw dog and Jim Bob's raw dogs.
Jim Dog's raw dogs.
So, but there's this whole push to have kids. And how many young couples go through this all the time? We know a couple that are struggling with this themselves, of whether or not they want to. And I think it's driving the Christian right nuts that a lot of millennials don't want to have children, especially right away like we did. You think of our old producer, Sophie. How old was she when she had her first kid? 32?
No, she's...
Or 28?
28, maybe, yeah.
So a lot later in life. And their plan...
Much later. 7 years later than...
Yeah, and their plan was strictly 2, and we're good. We're 2, and we're through. Whereas we were, keep going, keep popping them out. And
I think they're leaving it open for possibly one more, but they don't right now.
They're not planning on anything else,
And they're doing preventive measures to...
Yeah.
But like us, it was... I remember going back and forth with... Because we started out on... I got on birth control before we got married.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want kids right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then
I want to wait at least 6 months.
Well, that wasn't my plan. My plan was... And some people might be like, oh, then you were having sex. No, we didn't have sex. We literally did not have sex.
No, but for birth control, you need to be on it for a little while to regulate the system. And
I think so. It is in your system to not. Yeah. So, anyways, I got on it, and I was on it for a few months before we got married. And then I remember starting to get the conviction of the Holy Spirit, is what I would have called it, that I was preventing God from giving us children. I was blocking. It was having my will rather than God's will, right? Instead of thinking, I eventually got around to the thinking when you ended up getting a vasectomy, I was at that point, I was at the thinking of, if God really wants us to have a kid and he has a vasectomy, then he will just make it happen regardless. A vasectomy is not going to stop God.
About that.
What about it?
When Little Bo came out 15 years ago, on the delivery room bed, you looked up at Doc and said, Doc, give him some paperwork for a vasectomy because we're done.
Did I?
Pretty much. It was within 24 hours of having him. You were like,
cut this guy up, please.
Cut him out. It It wasn't like right after the baby came out, but it was like the next morning. You were like, "Do you know any good doctors that can do a vasectomy?"
Saw the doctor like stitching me up. Hey, get over here, Dan. Get up on this table. Yeah. Well, I was done. I thought I was done after 4, but then I had this desire to have one more.
Yeah.
And you just went along with it. I'm not sure that's really what you wanted. I mean, I know you're
Yeah.
glad he's here and everything, but did you want to have another one, or were you just kind of like, whatever? I mean, you were financially providing for us completely at that time.
And we were religious, so I think I was following in the religious mindset.
Of like,
I think
yeah.
if I was still Catholic, 3 would have been good.
Then we wouldn't have our little babies.
Yeah, and they're
And
entertaining as all hell.
We love them so much.
Yeah, but I think, and that kind of goes to our point here, is that my mind got caught up in this faith thing of you have to have all these kids.
Okay, but listen to what we just said. Mm-hmm. We just said then we wouldn't have our little babies, and that is what Christians will use to say, oh, then you wouldn't have these kids, or do you wish your parents would have aborted you? But the thing is, those you never have. You don't have like an emotional attachment to them.
No.
They didn't exist.
And that's the thing is, we're
emotionally attached to our children now.
Go back 2 weeks ago, we have so many narcissistic tendencies that we look into the faces of these things and say, this is an old Daniel Tosh bit. Oh, it looks like me. I'll keep it around. It's got to be cool. It looks like me somewhat.
It's got to be cool. It looks like me, yeah.
It can't be bad.
What about when you have people like my mom who insist that all my kids look like you? Or all our kids look like you. And I'm like, what about me? Like, some of them look like me, and there's a mixture of me in all of them. Why are you being so rude?
There's some issues there. Oh, we didn't do that segment. We forgot to do that segment, what we learned. Well, I mean, we might be able to sneak it in. But, so yeah, there's this whole push of have these kids. Mm-hmm. And it's a manipulation tactic by the church. Mm-hmm. Because we don't need more people for population or survival of the species or anything like that. What we need more people for is to keep the church afloat.
True, but the government will also say that they need them. They need them to be workers.
And that's why the government's saying it too. That's
soldiers.
The other thing. We need more workers. We need more soldiers. We need more people to prop up. And we're seeing the consequences of the choice of the younger generations not having a lot of kids early, because there's not a lot of people in the workforce compared to the people that are retiring and the age that...
Well, there's going to be less. The baby boomers was bigger than Gen X, wasn't it?
The population kept growing, but not as much.
Well, of course.
And the population lived longer now. So people that used to be dying at,
60s, 70s, or living to 80s and 90s.
Yes. So now we're supporting them, which is fine. That's our system. But back when they were in the system and people were dying at 70, 80.
Well, they also had less in the system.
Yeah, there would be 4 workers for every 1 person on retirement. Now it's down to 2 workers for every 1 person in retirement.
Okay, so
we're paying, each individual's paying more because they have to pay for that 1 person. And where it used to be twice as many people.
Okay. Fair, I hear you. So that will happen to our children's generation with us.
It's getting dangerously close to a 1-to-1 ratio.
Okay, which can cause a problem for sure.
A huge issue.
How would that be solved?
Well, we have a maximum age requirement in our country. You turn 85 and see ya.
That's awful. That's awful. Or oh, wow. That's why it's really important to save for retirement.
Yeah. So you can kind of take care of yourself somewhat.
Because that's not going to be available.
Social Security cannot be a plan of retirement.
No.
And I mean, your parents are just making it. My parents are making it. But
they saved some for retirement. They're not totally without.
Yeah.
But there are people that are totally without.
Yeah, that depend on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to do what you got to do there.
Yeah.
So there's a definite push to get this stuff through. And I think that's kind of the pressure put on. And quite frankly, there's a lot of people out there that don't really want to have kids. We know other couples that don't want to get married and they don't want to have children. And that's just what's part of their
So
life.
this might be a reason to not do these mass deportations. I mean, that helps our. I mean, I'm not talking about criminals.
That's why there's been a pause on.
That would help our society because they still pay into the system somehow.
They came
Sales
in
tax.
and did a pause on certain areas. They're not going into a lot of these workforces because the businesses came back and said, well, you just fucked us because you just took away half of our workforce.
Yeah. He doesn't listen until the
needed
people
these
making rich
people
people
to
say
produce
something.
the products. So whether it be like up in Omaha, the processing plant that they raided,
How much of the
they
employees
took
were
100 employees out.
Jeez.
And they're like, okay, we don't have 100 people to fill in these jobs.
So then what happens?
They don't produce as much. There's not as much, and the prices of that, whatever they produce, goes way up.
So those prices are going to go up. What was it?
I don't know what it was, to be honest, but it was something, and it's just like, okay, now, that's the concept. It's these ideals of we have to get rid of these people. They're sucking off our system and doing all this and hurting us. But it's like, do you realize how much they're helping you?
People
doing
think.
the work.
I think MAGA thinks they're using all the wealth, not the welfare. Well, they think they're getting free money.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about it, but they also think that they are like using the healthcare system for free, like going in and using the hospital like you would a doctor's office, but not paying anything.
Yeah.
What is the truth to that? Do you know? Don't talk out your ass.
Don't know 100% on it, no. So
That's
I'm not going to
something
say
to,
much
like,
about it, but
kind of research.
there's other issues with the healthcare system in and of itself
Yeah.
that are causing prices to go up, not just
yeah,
people.
that have nothing to do with
I mean,
that.
there's plenty of non-immigrants going in that can't pay.
Yeah.
And
Because they
don't
can't
pay.
turn you away. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a sole issue. It's not going to cure the problem. It's going to be a little dent in the helping it out, if anything.
I don't even think that that's a big problem that's happening.
But it's been
But
highlighted
maybe it
and
has
blown
happened.
out. Yeah.
But I mean, if a kid is sick or a person's sick, you
The
want them to
hospital
get
has-
help. Do you want them to just die?
A hospital has to provide care,
And they should.
regardless of payment.
Yeah.
So and that's why they got to figure stuff out on their business end for.
And the people
Other
we should be
stuff.
mad at are not the people who use it and don't pay, can't pay. The people we should be mad at are the people that are creating the situation where the cost of everything is so freaking high.
Yeah.
And also, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're fighting the wrong battles there.
Yeah.
But it's a scapegoat, which is a different topic altogether. So, yeah, there's plenty of people out there that aren't suited or just have no desire to be parents. Mm-hmm. But yet we still want to force them to do it. And it's just like, no, that's their decision. They don't want this. They enjoy their lifestyle. They're fine with it. Let them live their life what they choose to be. It's being responsible. Because there's always going to be that regret if they have a child of what could have been.
But
They may be
a Christian
great
would say
parents.
the opposite.
They may be great parents. They may be very responsible parents, but there'll still be that cloud over them of, we didn't want this. It just
Okay.
happened.
So what you're saying is just like Christians will use the argument like, you'll never regret having your kid if you have them, right?
Yeah.
They're saying that that's true. And I would say in most cases that is true.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say just like there are people who regret not having kids, there are people who regret having kids. I think it goes both
Oh, yeah.
ways. It's
Yeah.
on both sides. And
Yeah.
so how about we not legislate it at all? How about we not tell people how many children then they can have? If they can afford them and they want to have them, more power to them. But if you don't want them, more power to you. Like you get to, it's your body, your choice. How about that? How about that, Christians? How about we don't legislate things that, how about we just leave the choice for people? Like that's really what pro-choice is on all of this. It's just let people have a choice. And the Christians don't want us to have a choice. They just want their belief system to be the only choice you have. You see what I'm saying?
I do see what, yeah. It's because, and that's the whole issue, is that Christians make it seem like if pro-choice was out there, then
They're being forced to have an abortion.
mandated to have at least one abortion a year.
Yeah, nobody's forcing you to
It's
do
like,
anything.
No, you can Go
So
on.
stop forcing other people.
You can live your life the same way you always wanted to.
Yeah.
If you get pregnant, you can have that baby. And
But they feel like they're
whatever you want.
They're God's soldiers, which nowhere in the Bible does it tell you to be a soldier for God. And God is, where in the Bible did God ever ask men to fight his battles? If he doesn't want abortion to exist, he actually had, there's a scripture verse, I don't know, maybe Leviticus, where they talk about how to perform an abortion. If they thought their wife had been with somebody else, have her drink it and it would cause an abortion.
Yeah.
So it's like, stop,
drop and roll,
forcing it. That's what Christianity is. It's like, this is the best way and we should all aim for the best way. Okay, in your opinion, that's the best way to have children. Mm-hmm. But leave room for other opinions. Let other people live their lives and let God deal with it. If God is mad at them because they didn't have children, let God deal with it. You do not need to legislate it. You do not need to do anything to that person. Let it go. Let go and let God. Isn't that a phrase that we were taught as Christians?
Yeah.
Let go, let God.
Yeah.
So why don't they do that? Practice what they preach.
Because the devil's strong. And he'll come after you.
Yeah, it's because the devil is just this big, strong thing that overtakes God every freaking time.
And he'll burn your nipples with his little fiery hands.
Wow.
And so, but yeah, this whole idea of forced parenting and all this, it's just a construct. And when you see it for what it is, it's just a manipulation thing. You need to let people live their life how they choose to see fit to live their life. If someone wants to have 50 kids, whatever, man. That's your prerogative. If you want to choose to do that. If you want to be Cody Brown and have 4 wives and 50 kids, whatever. If everyone's consenting and willing and gets along, as that show played out so well and shown, then go ahead and do it. But that's your choice. Be responsible, be able to take care of them all, and, be able to love them all and help them all grow up to be
and that's the problem.
Decent people.
Some people don't. They don't have the emotional. They aren't emotionally well enough to be having children. You know, they aren't financially stable enough to provide for the children even basic needs, and then they're not educated enough to advance their situation. And in order to get that education, they need a way to pay for it, and they don't have the finances. So it's like it causes more crime, probably more sickness, more mental health issues by forcing people to do this and shaming them if they don't want children. Like, I know several people who have decided to not have children, and then they get kind of shamed.
Yeah.
By people.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what's wrong with you? And they feel embarrassed. They don't want to tell people.
Yeah.
Or they'll even just lie sometimes. Oh, I don't know. They even though they know, they don't want to have children.
Yeah.
They're not able to just say that.
Yeah. It's like old Bob's noodles al dente. And old Becky's eggs are all rotten. They make up the excuses, but it all comes back to actually free will and choice. Mm-hmm. If we really have free will and we really have free choice, and we get to pick and choose what we want to do and what we want to believe, then let us pick and choose.
Yeah, and then let God do the vengeance or the justice, right? Yeah. Instead of man trying to legislate it, just let God do it.
If he's all powerful, then
he'll stop it.
He's going to have a little...
If he's not okay with it, he'll put an end to it.
He's going to have a little needle poking holes in Bob's condoms.
I mean, seriously, it's kind of how I felt with at the beginning with the birth control. I thought I was blocking God, I was cock blocking. God or you?
Yeah.
But then when I got to started deconstructing, and it was more... If God wants us to have kids and you have a vasectomy, he'll get one of those little guys through. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because he can do that. And I began to trust in a bigger God, right?
Yeah.
That's really what happened. God wasn't so little that he demanded that I could only do a certain way, and we'd have to legislate it to kind of help him out because he's not able to carry out what he wants done. Instead, I was like, nah, he's stronger than that. He can carry it out. He doesn't need men to legislate it. He doesn't need me. If I try to stop him, he's going to win, not me. So it's interesting that Christians trust God in so many areas, but then there's certain areas they don't want to trust God in.
Yeah.
It's actually their lack of faith. Because if they really believe that God was omnipresent, omnipotent, all the things they say, right? Mm-hmm. They would stop trying to legislate things and just let go and let God.
Yep. And that's just not the case.
Yep.
It's another example of that. So, all right, before we conclude, let's play one more little game.
Okay.
It's called Christian Mingle or Cringe. All right. Real date and bios from Christian Mingle or an unholy fever dream from AI. You decide.
Okay.
Looking for my Proverbs 31 woman to cook, clean, and bear godly children. Is that a bio on Christian Mingle, or is that just AI being cringy?
That's a Christian mingle, and that person's disgusting.
It is a cringe. AI can be a creepy,
it is.
creepy AF AI.
Okay.
But it's based on multiple similar bios posted on Reddit threads mocking Christian Mingle.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Jesus is first, but you can be second if you're pure.
I hope that is a AI Christian or AI fake AF, whatever it's called.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Is that your guess?
Yes.
It is real. Paraphrase from a real Christian Mingle profile.
Oh, God, gross.
Not here to date.
I hope nobody swiped right on
I'm here to find my ministry partner and forever accountability buddy.
Please tell me it's AI.
What's your guess? Is that your final answer?
No, I honestly think it's a real Christian mingle.
It is real. Found word for word on multiple bios from Dayton Profile Expose blogs. I'm a God-fearing man looking for a submissive woman who doesn't talk back.
AI?
Is that your final answer?
No, it's mingle.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Nope, it's AI. Cringe. It's a user-generated satire.
Okay, good.
My love language is speaking in tongues.
Oh, God. That better not be Christian mingle. Is it? It is, isn't it? It is. Some creepo.
Nope, that's cringe.
Okay, good. I just think the worst of these people.
The source for this is the AI is a podcast original. You're welcome. He created it for us. Hobbies include youth group, CrossFit, and defending traditional marriage on Facebook.
That's a Christian mingle.
Nope. Created for the bit.
I'm terrible at this one.
It said created for the bit. Thought it would be real in the wild. Swipe right if you're ready to court with intention and avoid the appearance of evil.
That's AI.
That is real. Actual code adapted from a Christian dating site bio.
God.
Let's save room for the Holy Spirit between us. And by that, I mean 6 feet.
6 feet. That's hilarious. I'm going to go with AI.
It is. Pandemic era church mem plus dateable theology.
Yeah, I figured it was that something with the pandemic.
I'm waiting until marriage. Not just for sex, but for emotional connections too.
That cannot be. That has to be AI.
Real.
No! How are you supposed to connect? You're just going to marry some... Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Seen on multiple profiles and purity pledge materials.
Like, I'm not going to attach to you at all emotionally. I'm not going to let you get to know anything about me almost. What are they just like, what is your favorite food?
Think about some of these uber right Christians where they're...
Yeah, how do you keep your emotions from, like, showing through?
More of these guys are dating the dad to get his approval because the daughter's just property to pass on.
Oh, my God, this is horrible. Okay.
God told me you're my wife. Don't make him repeat himself.
I am praying that is AI. Please tell me it is. It is, isn't it?
It's real-ish. Classic Christian pickup line, used both sincerely and sarcastically.
Okay, sarcastically, okay, whatever, but
All right. Ready to build a quiverful family and homeschool from a biblical worldview.
I'm going to say it's real Christian mingle.
It is. Quiverful movement adjacent profile. Pulled from niche dating sites.
Oh, God, gross.
I've kissed Dayton goodbye, but I'm open to drive-through coffee with parental supervision.
Okay, that's AI.
Yeah.
That's pulling the book.
It's inspired by the book. Must love Jesus, be debt-free, and willing to move to my family's compound.
No, that's AI. That's got to be AI. That's terrible.
Mostly satire, though honestly, check Idaho.
AI got to throw its little jokes in there.
Yeah, it's AI, folks, if you're living in Idaho. You, me, and Jesus. A holy throuple.
That's AI.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's bad.
Made up for comedy, very likely to become merch. If your past is messy, don't worry. I'll disciple you into real life material.
If you say it again, if your past is what?
If your past is messy, don't worry. I'll disciple you into real life material.
That's real creepy. I hope that's AI.
Real-ish. Based on real bios referencing spiritual headship and discipling their future wife.
God,
So,
can you imagine people marrying
In
these guys?
conclusion, do you want that Christian mingle couple to have children to bring that kind of lifestyle
my gosh,
forward?
wow.
There's some real winners out there, ladies.
I mean, there are really good men out there, but those aren't them.
And they wonder why there aren't any good girls around that want to date good guys
yeah.
like them.
That's a whole thing, yeah. All the good girls are gone. Why do they?
Have you ever
Why do
seen-
they not like good guys? They say they like nice guys, but then when they meet one, they don't like them. I'm like, are you being a nice guy though?
You ever seen them videos where that's like a youth group and they're like upper high school level, college age kids, and the one guy staggers up front. He's like, I don't know what's happened, but I was praying in the back, and God spoke to me, and my wife's in this room somewhere.
Oh God, no.
So, and they just wait for some girl to be like, yeah, it's me.
So she's probably sitting there, and it gets really uncomfortable, and she doesn't. She's the thing
Well,
is,
no, it's
she
a room full of guys and girls, so it's just all these girls. And
all
they're
these
like,
girls, right? And the girls probably inside, they start to feel uncomfortable, and one of them misunderstands the uncomfortable feeling of wanting to flee and fix the situation as, oh, that's the Holy Spirit convicting me. I'm the one. That's probably what's happening. I can almost guarantee you that's what's happening sometimes. Oh, wow. That's awful. And then they end up in a miserable marriage a lot of times, you know? It's good at first till life starts to, like, throw all that life does, you know?
Yeah.
Life ain't easy, and it throws a whole lot of shit at them, and then they don't know how to communicate. They're not emotionally mature. I mean, we married far too young. We had children now. I guess I just realized on this podcast that we had children way too early. I thought we waited a couple years in, but we did not. We got pregnant very early on. Like, I'm trying to figure out when we would have gotten pregnant. So we would have gotten pregnant in, like, March. We waited, like, 7 months?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
Hey.
Wow. And we were babies. There's definitely a difference in our parenting style from then and now.
Oh, yeah. Night and day. Like now it's like, please be God. We want our freedom back.
But we actually parent, like we actually engage in emotional, mature conversations. We know how to like parent a lot better. Yeah. Part of that is just skill because we're now on 4 and 5 compared to 1 and 2. But there's a lot of emotional maturity that's happened over that time. There's a lot of life experience that has happened. So we gained a lot of wisdom. We've grown. We've deconstructed or in the deconstruction process that never ends. But yeah, we were too young. We were just too young.
Yeah. And we were forced to believe that that was the mission that we had in life.
Yeah.
Start having babies. That's your whole. Because, I mean, think about it. Your mom was beyond that point. So if she was buying into any of the rhetoric that was being taught, her value was in her children that had. Actually, your youngest sister was still, what, 13? 12?
When we got married?
Yeah.
13, yeah.
Yeah, 13. So 15 when we had our first kid. So your mom's getting to that end stage. A few more years left with her, which, well, yeah. So we'll leave it there. But her new life had to be through her grandchildren. If she was buying into that. So that's why that push gets put on there. That pressure gets put on because the value of a woman. I can't have kids anymore. I'm too old.
So now I need to be a grandma because now I need to put value there.
My mentorship in that to raise up godly mothers with my daughters or daughter-in-laws to have these grandbabies and be the godly grandparent.
But then, if you think about that in the Christian circles, I know we didn't get grandparents that helped with our kids very much, but it's like in the Christian circles, what is the grandma supposed to do, considering you want the wife to do everything with the children?
Yeah.
So the grandma really doesn't have.
Well, if it's the mother-in-law to the mother, then she's just there to nag and complain and tell you everything you're doing wrong.
Really?
And then if it's the mother, she's there to point out that, well, you get what you deserve because I remember when you were that young.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a lot of criticism.
Yeah. And maybe the encouragement, and not to say that women are doing that, because I think healthy, mature, emotionally mature women don't do that.
The mother-in-law saying, well, my baby was never like that.
These
so
are
I don't know what you're doing
stereotypes
wrong.
for sure. These are stereotypes, Dan. You're stereotyping women, and that's not good.
No, mother-in-laws and mothers.
But it is, I mean, that's a stereotype, but it's also more fitting to those who are emotionally immature.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, yeah.
Where the mother-in-law feels like she's competing with the wife for the son's attention, which is
and
just immaturity. It's an insecurity.
Yeah.
It's immaturity because she's probably not in the healthiest of relationships with her spouse a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then you have the mother of the woman who had the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's kind of, I think, at least how I would handle being a mom now or a grandma, I think would just be, if my child wants my advice on something, you give it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you kind of just respect how they're trying to do it, And I think that would have been, that's the way it's supposed to be, in my opinion. But I think you just have a lot of, and I think a lot of times it does go that way for women that are mature and have learned,
But
they remember being in that space.
I think an overriding theme in this, too, is that it strips away all the value in a woman's life except for childbearing.
And birth.
Yeah.
Carrying a child, bringing life into the world, and then rearing that life up.
And it places all the value in that. Mm-hmm. So it's going to push young women to want to have kids because that's where their value is going to be at. Mm-hmm. And it's going to push mothers of married children to have their kids have grandchildren because that's where their value is going to be at.
Mm-hmm. But here's a little fun fact that nature doesn't think that that's the only value for women. Bless you. Because a man can create offspring all the way till his death. He really can. His sperm might not be as good, and it might not.
Weird swimmers in there.
There might be, but he can still do his part in the life cycle or a reproduction cycle. But a woman, she starts to go through menopause or perimenopause, and then goes through that change, and she can't have children anymore, but she still continues to live on 20, 30 years, right? Mm-hmm. And this is because nature, there's still something of value that she gives to nature, right? Which could be passing on the wisdom or helping the next generation, raise up the next generation. But she still has value, where the guy doesn't, in nature, only has value of reproduction in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, once he can't reproduce, it's like, bye.
I need to stick this somewhere.
But maybe men are evolving. A little
I
bit more.
doubt it.
No, I think maybe some.
I-
Hopefully, through all of this,
if
eventually
I
they will.
isolate and just focus on the Christian right, they're not.
Okay.
They're
The Christian
default.
right is conservative, so they're going backwards. But I'm saying, like, progressives are they're evolving. I mean, men are starting to become a lot more emotionally available. You're a lot more emotionally available than you ever were. A lot more in tune with your own emotions, able to handle, or not handle, but be able to sit with my emotions sometimes instead of like running or trying to distract and let's just make her laugh, but let's feel this with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think
Yeah.
there's some maturing going on, some evolving.
Yeah, there is.
And women are evolving too.
And it's going against the interest of the church and the state, so they're fighting back as much as they possibly can. So
No, yeah, that's true.
it's again, I think, kind of a conclusion to this whole thing is you're you. Find out who you are, what's best for you, and then go with that.
And live your life
So
for you
if
and not for what the culture says you're supposed to be.
you don't have that desire to have children, awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Don't.
things you can do if you don't have children too.
Yeah.
You could travel.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things you can do.
If you don't have that and you don't have that drive for it, then don't.
Yeah. Don't do something that goes against what you actually desire, because I think that's hurtful to you and to the life that you would bring in.
Yeah. And if you do have urges, then do it. But it's just, you got to be true to yourself, and you have to know yourself and get to learn yourself and figure out, is my value because I'm going to be a mother, or is my value because of the person that I am? Mm-hmm. And then go with that, because, there is value in being a mother, but it doesn't have to be the only value you have.
No, and it's not a
it's-
superior value.
yeah.
It's part of, that's part of what I've done in this planet is I've had children.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make me superior to someone who hasn't.
It's your defining characteristic.
No, and I'm not superior because of it. Like, they used to think that getting married made you superior over single. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you. You
Be
do
proud of
you.
yourself. No,
I
we're
do
not.
me, you do you.
Just don't do me in the pew. A lot of throwbacks today.
Candyism. So, all right, that's all we have for you today. So go check out our website, danandcan.com. It's got all our stuff that's associated with us and the podcast, Dan and Can Show. And
Remember, it's called Dan and Can. Dan and Can Podcast. I don't know about Dan and Can Show.
the Dan and Can Show.
I don't know about that.
And then the candy jars in there too, so you can find all the stuff related to candy. Go and give us 5 stars. If you give us 5 stars, you can have as many or little children as you possibly want. Anything less, and we will force you to have a rivalry with the Duggars on how many children you're going to have. So your choice is gone. You're just going to be a breeding factory.
Is this really what we want to say right now?
We'll give 5 stars, and you won't have to worry about it. It's your choice then. And if you're on YouTube, smash that like, hit that subscribe. We appreciate it greatly. And with that being said, thanks for listening. And if you have any complaints, please direct them towards your youth pastor.
Bye.
Bye.